Well, I think one of the best parts of the program is that there is a personalized aspect to it. You make it very easy for us to stay in touch with you during the week.
In this video, I get the opportunity to have an in-person conversation with my student Zeb. He just happened to be in town here in Los Angeles, so we took advantage of that opportunity to play some guitar, hang out, and have this conversation. So I hope you enjoy. Look who I have here. Zeb, all the way from Chicago, has made it. We just completed, what, a couple hours of guitar, an hour of tennis.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, hidden
Thanks.
activities on both ends.
Exactly. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
The funny joke that you just made is that the guitar is your second favorite string instrument
they are
because the
both string.
tennis
Yeah,
racket, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, I've enjoyed you coming here. I'd love to hear just kind of, I don't know, your experience of the program so far. You're halfway through right now. So how has it been? And then what are you kind of expecting to get out of it as you're going further with it?
So I have to say, you've put together an amazing program. It's really been wonderful because it helps to set the foundation for musical understanding, musical knowledge. It's so applicable in just about everything and anything you'd ever want to play. So this knowledge is immensely relevant, I would say. For my mind and the way that I think, I really enjoy the step-by-step aspect of it all. I really enjoy sort of that roadmap to graduation where it's broken down into bite-sized pieces. Your lectures prior to every lesson are invaluable because you give a really great overview and bird's eye perspective on where we're headed, what the goals are, what the objectives are. And then, sure enough, once you start following the step by step program and you're kind of going day by day and taking it one day at a time, you're getting to that point where you're accomplishing those objectives. So far, so good. I'm really enjoying it. I find that it's already applicable to other things that I'm learning on guitar and the way I already play guitar as well. But I know that even that is going to change and evolve over time. So I'm enjoying the process immensely. Thanks for putting together a great program.
Yeah, dude, thanks for being a part of it. Yeah, I
Absolutely.
really, really appreciate it. Another question I have for you is you're halfway through it right now. So, what did you expect it to be like? And then, in what ways now is it either different or what you expected it to be?
If you're just looking at the title of the program, you think that, well, maybe this is just a program that's going to help me memorize notes and what string the notes are on, and I could do that by myself. Why do I need someone walking me through it? But there's a lot more to it than that. That's what it may be on its surface, but there's a science and there's a logic and there's an art and a technique behind how these notes are laid out on a guitar. And that's why I think it's so important to have a teacher who has that perspective and knows where he's guiding his student to help you get there. I think that's true for basically anything that you learn, is that you don't really have a full understanding of it until you've gone through the journey, and then you have a better sense of what you actually learned along the way. So I was certainly looking forward to having more fretboard fluency, more comfort on the fretboard, understanding theory more, and those are the things that I've been slowly acquiring in the course of this program. And I think that it's a great program to keep as a resource because even as you develop as a guitar player, you can revisit this information. And I really feel that you're going to find that this information hits differently and sinks differently as you develop as a guitar player. It's not just you've gone through it once, you've absorbed it, you graduated, and there's nothing more to learn from it. I really think that wherever you are in your guitar journey, revisiting this program is just going to deepen and broaden your understanding of the guitar and of music in general.
Amazing.
Mm.
That's huge high praise, dude.
Well deserved.
For the rest of the program, is there, and please answer this honestly, is there anything that I can do differently or do more of to provide you with better support or improve the second half of the program for you at all?
Well, I think one of the best parts of the program is that there is a personalized aspect to it. I mean, the lectures may already be set because they've been recorded in advance, and that's fine because it's going to form the foundation for what it is you're expected to go through and understand sort of the basics of what that week's objectives are. But in terms of what you're referring to, I think that's where your individualized one on one time with your students really comes into play because all of us will understand the information a little bit differently. And I think that one on one time with you gives us both a chance to have a better understanding because then you can see how your students have absorbed the information and you can kind of guide them along the way. And we as students can ask our own questions because, again, we have our own way of thinking and our own particular set of questions that we need to have answered to gain a better understanding. So I really find that to be a great component of the program. Having you sort of at the beginning to introduce what's going on with that week, and then you make it very easy for us to stay in touch with you during the week, sending you a video, sending you a question, and then basically having that checkpoint when we have the coaching session with you again. We can revisit what we just went through for that week, ask any questions, get any feedback, any positive criticism, and move forward with the next week.
Amazing. So any of that I can do more of or improve on, or are you fairly satisfied with how things have been so far?
I mean, you mentioned to me that this program is still in evolution, that you're still improving it based on your own understanding of the program, the outcome and the results that you've seen with the students that have already graduated. And yeah, as you're bringing more students into the program, I think that it makes sense that the program will evolve, with the feedback that you've gotten, with the way you see your students developing. I mean, I don't think it's an undue criticism to say that you may change things along the way as well based on how you see your students reacting. You may find other philosophies or other methods to be well suited for a particular topic that you want to convey to us. But in terms of where the program stands right now, I think that it certainly meets its stated objectives. And I think that as we develop as students, you can certainly continue developing as a teacher.
Yeah,
because
I got
it's
stuff to work on.
a symbiotic sort of relationship. But I think it's a testimony to the fact that music is sort of this never-ending endeavor and journey of exploration and discovery, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's one of the best aspects of music.
Yeah, I completely agree. If you have time, I just have two more quick questions. Okay, thank you so much. So you live in Chicago. I live in Los Angeles. I have students in the program from, a couple international students, West Coast, East Coast. To any other student in the program who's thinking about coming and hanging out with me in Los Angeles, what would you tell that student?
I've known Eric now online, just like a lot of you. I got to know the program through, an advertisement, had a nice introductory consultation call with him, got a good layout for what the program is all about, followed it sort of step by step to get to the halfway point. And it just so happened that it works for me in my life to be out here in Los Angeles for family reasons and whatnot.
Totally.
But when I knew I was going to be out here, I put it out there that I'd love to get together with you. You were so receptive to it as well. We made it happen, and it's just been a wonderful, very calm, relaxing, positive experience, I hope, for both of us.
Oh, totally.
And, that's what I really like about music, is that it's an opportunity to express yourself, an opportunity to connect. So I was really looking forward to us meeting in person also, just to sort of share our love of music, share our love of, just bonding and putting out positive vibes in the world and whatnot. And I mean, I know that it's going to work out for me to be out in California many more times in the future. And I love that we got a chance to meet and get to know each other. And I'm looking forward to the next time we see each other in person as well.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my last question, you mentioned a little bit about, seeing an ad and us getting on a quick call. And with you and I, things happened really quickly. You saw an ad, and I think that night I sent you a video to watch. And then that night we got on a phone, and maybe it was a 30-minute phone call. And then we got you in, we locked you in, we started the program immediately. So I'm curious just to hear more about that experience from your perspective. Did that feel fast to you? Did that feel comfortable? How was that for you?
I know that everyone has probably their own speed with which they want to make decisions in life, for lack of a better way of putting it. But I think one thing that a lot of students share in common is this desire to want to get better. And when it comes to the world of music instruction, guitar instruction, there's just a never-ending supply of stuff that's out there. So on the one hand, I think that there's a little bit of a danger in terms of researching too much. I mean, you could literally spend 6 months just researching every program that's out there, and you're still just going to be scraping the surface, and you'll never have made a decision, and you'll never have taken that first step to go in a particular direction. And I don't want to oversimplify it and say that none of it is wasted time. Anything you learn is good. I guess that's somewhat true, but I do think that there's something to be said for quality as well, and for a program that has some sort of coherence, some sort of overarching philosophy. So in my particular instance, yeah, you're right. I mean, from the time I saw the ad until I was on a call with you, just a few minutes had transpired.
Sure, yeah.
And then suddenly we're on a call. I think that first call even lasted longer than 30 minutes, to be honest with
It
you.
may have.
It may
I
have.
don't remember.
But it was just a really open, honest conversation between us. And I felt a sense of comfort. I like that it's not just you selling a bunch of videos or online downloads and very impersonal or anything like that, that there was a personal aspect to it. But again, it's what I alluded to just a minute ago, is that you have to take a first step. And if you feel comfortable, if you feel like what's being offered is going to fill a need for you in terms of your knowledge, in terms of your passion, whatever the case may be, I mean, it's worth just going down that road. It's worth taking that step and building momentum and encouraging this idea of music being a part of your daily existence. And yeah, I didn't want to fall in the category of someone who just researched something to death without taking any action. So, I mean, I'm glad I took that leap, and it ultimately really comes down to the attitude of the student, I think. You know, if you are coming into these things with an open mind and an open heart, you know, keep in mind you're learning from a professional. You're learning from someone who's studied this information for years and years. So, I mean, I'm not elevating you unnecessarily or lowering myself unnecessarily by saying you have a ton more knowledge than I do. So there's so much that I can learn from you. So I would never approach a program like yours and say, oh, he's just teaching fretboard memorization. I already know how to do that. It's like, I don't think that's a fair way of analyzing the program. I mean, there's a lot that I can learn from somebody with your experience. And this is, again, just the tip of the iceberg. And I think that there's a lot more to learn, but you just have to be a student that enjoys knowing that guitar is a journey and there doesn't have to be an end to it, that there's always more to learn and to explore. But as long as you have, you know, that sense of enjoyment, which you talk about at the beginning, then you can keep that interest and passion alive forever.
Yeah, I totally agree. Or at least that's the idea.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Good.
The last final thing I'd like you to mention is right now you're halfway through the program. This video will probably live on YouTube. So give a message to your future self, the future version of yourself that has graduated the program. What do you want to tell that person?
What I would tell myself is, first of all, good job keeping music alive in your heart. Realize that this is something that brings you a lot of joy. It doesn't have to be something that translates into you being able to make more money in life or impress anybody. It really speaks to sort of this inner need of wanting to nurture a passion and to stay in touch with the part of you that appreciates experiences more than objects or material things. And no matter what you do for a living or what other things are going on in your life, I think it's really important to keep that passionate spiritual part of your existence as a human being alive. And for some people, it may be other things. It could be poetry, it could be sports, it could be nature. But for anyone who's watching this video, I'm guessing that for you, it's music. And I would tell myself 5 years from now that I'm happy that I am on this journey and that I connected with someone who shares a passion for music and that I kept myself in contact with this wonderful art form. And it's not about achieving anything. It's literally just about enjoying the process and doing something purely for the love of it.
Amazing. Thanks, Zeb.
Thank you, Eric.
Dude, this has been so fun. It's fun to hang out. I'm looking forward to more hangs.
I am as well.
And welcome to the YouTube channel. I hope you like it here.
This has been great. I'm so happy to be in the inner sanctum. And
I know this is where the videos happen. Yeah. This is where the teaching happens. You're like living inside of the internet world right now.
It feels surreal because this is the background I see when I talk to Eric, but now I'm in it.
Yeah, you're in it.
It's not a green screen. I'm actually here.
It's a real place.
It's the real deal. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Alrighty, man. I'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon. Take care.